Imagine being able to open an invisible portal around you, a magical circle of defense and strength, an energetic shield, a guard against unwanted energies, and a means of gaining access to higher levels of consciousness. This is the function of the lesser ritual of the pentagram. This rite, widely practiced in Western Hermeticism and ceremonial magic, is among the core practice of the Golden Dawn's Hermetic Order and has been employed by many practitioners throughout the ages. Today we are going to delve into its profound meaning and learn, step by step, how to execute it. The lesser pentagram ritual is more than mere words and gestures. It is a code, a key that opens doors to hidden worlds, a bridge between the magician and the fine forces that shape the universe. To truly understand it, one must dive into its origins and the principles that sustain its effectiveness. Western ceremonial magic, of which the lesser ritual of the pentagram is a pillar, has deep roots in traditions that span millennia. From the temples of ancient Egypt to the Hermetic studies of the Renaissance, the idea that symbols and rituals can shape reality is a knowledge preserved and refined by generations of initiates. Yet it was in the 19th century with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn that this ritual became formalized and spread as an essential practice for those who aspired to tread the way of high magic. To the contemporary practitioner, the lesser ritual of the pentagram is something more than mere religious defense. It is a focus exercise, an assertion of authority, and a method of synchronizing oneself with cosmic forces. By executing it, the magician is not simply drawing pentagrams through the air, but is writing a vibrational signature into existence, attuning himself with sacred energies. Every movement, every holy name spoken, is a note in a grand, secret symphony that harmonizes the energetic field around them. The divine names invoked during this ritual, Yod-He-Vav-He, Adonai, Ehe-Yeh, and Agla, are not words. They are force-charged spells, vibrational symbols of the uppermost levels of the cosmos. When spoken by the magician with will and belief, they are calling forth energy of these forces directly and permitting their impact to be expressed in the material world. This exercise, repeated regularly, sharpens spiritual insight and enhances the practitioner's bond with higher planes of being. The pentagram itself is one of the earliest humanity's symbols, linked to the equilibrium of the elements and supremacy of consciousness over nature forces. Drawing it at the four cardinal directions in the course of the ritual not only forms a protective barrier, but also a circuit of energies, balancing the magician with the macrocosm. It is not surprising that alchemists, Hermetic philosophers, and initiates of different orders have always thought of it as the symbol of power and light. By dedicating themselves to the consistent practice of the lesser pentagram ritual, the student defends themselves against external forces, as well as causes an internal transformation process to occur. They exercise their mind, reinforce their will, and hone a more sensitive perception of the subtle reality. The world itself starts to feel less disorganized since they become a hub of stability and coherence in a constantly changing reality. More than a ritual, it is a spiritual discipline. It not only keeps away negative energies, but it refines the sensitivity of the practitioner so that he himself becomes an aware instrument of change. As with any great tool, its real significance can be comprehended only by experience. Theory provides a map, but it is practice that reveals the true territory of magic. The lesser ritual of the pentagram follows a precise sequence that harmonizes the practitioner with higher spiritual forces and establishes an energetic field around them. Its structure is divided into four main parts, each with a specific purpose: aligning with the divine, tracing protection, invoking higher forces, and sealing the vibrational field. 1. The Kabbalistic cross, the partnership with the divine. Before making any pentagram, the magician invokes the Kabbalistic cross, a strong exercise of unity with the source. This is the first step not only that cleanses the aura of the practitioner, but also that establishes their consciousness in the awareness of the divine. The practitioner visualizes a brilliant light above their head, which represents the untainted and transcendent nature of the Creator. Out of this light, the practitioner draws a pillar of energy that falls to the ground and spreads to the sides, finding a balance between upper and lower forces in the duality of the universe. The steps of the Kabbalistic cross are as follows. Touch your forehead and recite, Atah thou art, imagining a beam of light coming down from infinity to your head. Touch your chest and recite, Malkuth, the kingdom, bringing the light down to your feet, grounding yourself. Touch your right shoulder and recite Vejabura, the power, filling the light to your right. Touch your left shoulder and recite Vejadula, the glory, sensing the light extend to the left. Cross your hands on your chest and recite Leolam, Amen, forever and ever, Amen, sensing yourself surrounded by this sacred presence. With this, the practitioner sets up a vibrational alignment, ready for the next step. 2. Drawing the pentagrams, forming the circle of protection. The second step is the formation of a protective shield around the magician. For this, pentagrams are inscribed in the 4 cardinal points, serving as a protection against bad influences and as seals that trap the energy of the ritual in the space. All pentagrams have to be made with care, and together with the pronunciation of a related divine name. The will behind each line is crucial. Simply drawing them mechanically does not suffice. The practitioner should sense the flow of energy from her hands and settling itself in the air. The process is as follows. Turn to the east, draw a glowing pentagram in the air, and vibrate the name Yod-He-Vav-He, the creative power. Turn south, trace the second pentagram, and utter Adonai, invoking the highest presence. Turn west, trace the third pentagram, and utter Ehe-Ye, representing the everlasting I Am. Turn north, trace the last pentagram, and utter Agla, an acronym for Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, which means Thou art mighty forever, O Lord. At this point, the magician is enveloped by a ring of defensive energy, resonating with the divine names. Third calling of the archangels, invocation of superior forces. Once the protective field is in place, the magician calls upon the 4 cardinal point archangels who rule the directions and adding security and harmony to the alignment with cosmic forces. Each archangel is assigned a specific role and an elemental correspondence representing the balanced presence of the 4 elements surrounding the practitioner. It is at this point that one senses the presence of these beings, feeling their qualities and the energy that they bring. The invocation then goes as such. In front of me stands Raphael, the archangel of the east, air element, wearing yellow and green, a caduceus in hand. Behind me is Gabriel, archangel of the west, water element, blue and silver dressed, a chalice in hand. To my right, Michael, south archangel, fire element, red and gold attire, flaming sword in hand. To my left, Uriel, north archangel, earth element, brown and gold attire, orb of earth in hand. Upon feeling the archangels encircling them, the magician states, "For around me flame the pentagrams, and within me shines the 6-rayed star." This statement enhances the energetic correspondence, linking the practitioner to the macrocosm. 4. Closing the Kabbalistic cross. Once more. To finish off the ritual, one must affirm the link to the divine and seal the formed energy. It is achieved through the repetition of the Kabbalistic cross, returning into balance and finalizing the exercise. The closing is done the same way as the opening. Touch your forehead and say Ata. Touch your chest and say Malkuth. Touch your right shoulder and say Vegabura. Touch your left shoulder and say Vegadula. Cross your hands across your chest and say Leolam Amen. At this point, the magician can sense the energy stabilizing and the vibrational field intact. The ritual is now complete, and protection and purification